Now, we should deal with politics of what you raised yesterday. You promised jobs before, and you have repeatedly failed to create jobs. In your first address to this House as President, you promised to create 500,000 jobs in 6 months, yet you failed and no one held you accountable. Our people are being called upon to celebrate 20 years of freedom, and we really do not know what they should celebrate because the past 20 years has been 20 years of suffering and the poorest of the poor.
Yes, sir.
Agbare Speaker, is die agbare lid bereid om 'n vraag te vra? 'n Baie maklike vraag. Ek wil vir hom vra, why does he deliver his speech in a white man's language of English, not in his own mother tongue?
Honorable Malema, are you prepared to respond to the question?
I have no time for racist questions. Our people are called upon to celebrate 20 years of freedom. We really do not know what they should celebrate because the past 20 years has been 20 years of suffering of the poorest of the poor. It has been 20 years of joblessness and unemployment for majority of our people, in particular the youth. 35% of South Africans capable of working are unable, and majority of those who are employed are paid very low salaries. Mr. President, whatever you have said about jobs has been a false and inconsistent as the performance of your party for the past 20 years. However, you look at it, in 1995, unemployment was 15%, and now at this moment it is at 25% or 36% with an expanded definition. 70% of this demographic are youth. This is your legacy. You have more than doubled unemployment. More than half of the working people earn 3,300 or less. A third of all workers are now employed through labor brokers. And we must also remind you that 2014 is a year in which you said you would have halved unemployment in 2009. You also promised to distribute 30% of the land in this very year. You promised to halve poverty by 2014. You promised to provide security of tenure to 400,000 households who live in informal settlement. You keep making the same promises and misleading this House, and honorable members clap hands. They encourage this mediocrity, lack of leadership, and misleading of the nation and the poor. You are a man of tradition, Mr. President, a tradition of empty promises. Now knowing you will not be there in 2030, please say nothing about 2030 because you will not be there. The President said a minimum wage shall be investigated. There is no need to investigate. This House must show leadership and courage. The workers have already shown the way. For 5 months now, workers in the Platinum Belt have been on the strike, which demonstrated their genuine determination. They are looking for 12,500, which the ANC government massacred 34 of them 2 years ago for it. In honor of those who died, let this House legislate 12,500. This will be a sign of showing remorse and regret for the Marikana massacre. We also demand the establishment of parliamentary commission on conditions and the salaries of mine workers, including the auditing of the financial books.
Chairperson, on a point of order here, the Speaker said the ANC government massacred people 2 years ago. Is it parliamentary? Is there any proof of that? Can you rule on that, Chairperson?
Mr. Malema.
I maintain that.
Mr. Malema.
The ANC government massacred the people in Marikana. Those police were representing the ANC government.
Mr. Malema.
I'm not going to withdraw.
Morena.
It's not going to happen that.
Honorable Malema. Honorable Malema.
I'm all yours, Chair.
Honorable Malema.
Honorable Chair.
Please accept that this House and all our houses of parliament have simple rules to follow in a debate. The last time we said, hold your horses because we're taking a point of order.
Okay.
I was asked to rule, and even before I gave you the go-ahead, you were on. Please do not do it again. The honorable member of the ANC raised a point. You contest that point, you say that you are sustaining it. I wish to take this point on advice, honorable members, and will rule on it tomorrow. Because it is not an open and shut, a statement that you make and you conclude on. There are many implications on it, and I would like to be properly advised to come back to this House on a ruling tomorrow. You may continue, Ntate Malema.
We call him for parliamentary commission on the conditions and salaries of mine workers, including the auditing of the financial books of all the mines by the state, to ascertain ourselves on how much is the mining sector making in this country, because we do not trust the current financial disclosure by the mining sector. Mr. President, you have spoken about radical socio-economic changes. And if indeed you meant what you said, then you will agree with me that there is nothing radical about preserving the current exploitative economic structure. Otherwise, what has been suggested here is a mere old wine in a new bottle. We are back to gear by another name, which Blade in Zimande called 1996 class project and the most serious strategic threat to the national democratic
Order, members.
Order,
members.
In his
Honorable Malema, there is an honorable Blade in Zimande in this house.
Honorable Blade in Zimande, in his factional battles with President Thabo Mbeki,
Honorable Malema,
said
Honorable Malema, I will not have this house degenerating into this. Please debate the state of the nation, the factional battles and whatever, let them stay where they are.
No, Chair, I don't agree with that. No, I don't agree with that.
Honorable Malema.
You are not going to tell me, Chair, how I must debate.
Order, Chair.
Point of order, Chair. You are not going to tell me how I must debate.
On point of order, Chair.
No. No, I can't be told what to say.
Honorable Malema. Order, members.
Point of order,
members,
Chair. Order, Chair. Point of order, Chair.
Honorable members, I am quite fit to sit on this chair. Honorable Malema, we have taken you through the rules of these houses. You will desist from making disparaging remarks on the persons of the honorable members of this house.
Point of order, Chair.
Order, Chair.
Point of order, Chair. The chairperson is out of order. Honorable Musima Iman referred to the factional battles in the ANC, for which the chairperson did not call him to point of order. So the chairperson must be consistent in the application of the rules of parliament.
The chairperson is very consistent. The Honorable Maimane referred to the factional battles in the party, did not apportion it to a particular member of this house. Honorable Malema, withdraw those remarks.
Honorable Chair.
On the factional tendencies or otherwise of the Honorable Blade in Zimande.
Okay, Honorable Chair, withdraw.
Thank you. You may proceed.
Mr. President, you clearly do not know what a radical economic transformation means. What is radical about EPWP? What is radical about buying stolen land? Maybe we must give you a few tips on what is radical economic transformation. You must be prepared, if you want to advance this agenda of radical transformation, to expropriate the stolen land without compensation. You must be prepared to nationalize the mines, the banks, and other strategic sectors of the economy. You must be prepared, Mr. President, to protect local industries and ensure that they continue to be productive. Mr. President, you must provide free quality education up until the tertiary level. Mr. President, you cannot celebrate the two glorified high schools which are wrongly called universities in the Northern Cape and Mpumalanga, because the two of them are going to take only 350 people. We need to engage, Mr. President, in a deliberate program to send 10,000 students to outside the country to the best of the best universities, because all the countries which have succeeded, they took their learners and their youth to learn outside their countries. Mr. President, you were on a paraffin speed building stadiums for the 2010 Soccer World Cup, but you are failing to build schools and you are failing to build basic things like toilets. Radical economic transformation means
Honorable Malema, I'm afraid your time is up. Thank you very much.
No, but those orders you were eating on my time.
Honorable Malema.
Chair. Mr. President, la o ka itima metsi o tla bona e nwele.
Order.